Let me start you off with this. Imagine this scenario playing out. You walk into your local coffee shop and you're greeted by your first name. You walk up to the counter and the barista asks, "Getting the usual?" And you're filled with the comfort that you're known and you're heard. The barista asks how your day is going. And maybe you respond with it's not going too good. And in an effort to brighten your day, that barista tells you the drink is on the house. And then you leave with your day that much better. Today, I'm going to talk about why you should support small businesses. In 2019, I found myself working for the Cheesecake Factory. And sadly, it wasn't the soapy water that cleaned the dishes, it was my tears. Thankfully, those tears were only shed for a few weeks, and I got offered a job at a local coffee shop. And there is where I learned the benefits of a small business, both for my personal life and for the community. I believe that supporting small business adds value to the community, and here's why. One is it's best for you, the consumer. And two, it benefits your community. And three, spending money locally keeps the money local. Supporting local shops should be in your best interest because they care about the communities they are in. A large-scale chain can't meet the real needs of a local consumer. They are too busy looking at the world market instead of the local market. Small businesses, however, have a focus on the place they are in. They specifically cater to your area. When we don't want another sales pitch luring us in. We're a generation that wants reality. And the reality is that a large-scale corporate, they don't care about you. All they care about are the figures that they get from their quarterly meetings. Now, a smaller facility is more likely to do the exact opposite. They're striving for that customer experience first, rather than a large profit or manipulative way to draw you in. Now, not only do small businesses benefit you, but they benefit your community as well. Get this. The tax on that vanilla latte that you bought at your local coffee shop goes to the community government. They will use that money towards public schools, first responders, and even fill those nasty potholes that we hate. It's so cool to think that some of the money that we used for that vanilla latte helps firefighters or teachers provide for their families. Here's some stats on that. According to advocacy.gov, they create 2/3 of net new jobs and drive competition. And on a large scale, they account for 44% of US economic activity. With all this drive in local commerce, the money you spend locally will stay local. When you walk into one of these businesses and you purchase something, you're putting money directly into the pocket of someone that lives down the street, not someone that lives 7,000 miles away. And most other places you end up putting money in the pocket of someone across the world that doesn't care about you. They have no interest in you, your life, or the community you live in. And these small businesses are the backbone of their community. They're more vital for someone here than someone over there. And according to an article on medium.com, if you spend $100 at a business in your local community, $68 of that money spent goes back into the community. While if you spend the same amount at a non-local business, only $43 will stay. That's a big chunk that's leaving your community. Now, wouldn't it be better to support a man or a woman that lives and supports in the same community that you live in? Now, I want to present with you a couple of arguments. With these, I'm really going to focus on Starbucks and local coffee shops only because I have a better understanding of the two places between me and friends and family. Now, the first argument is that Starbucks is fast. Now, Starbucks is fast because, well, they cut corners on quality and customer service. But they have to, because they produced a culture around themselves and in the world that wants the least amount of human interaction possible and the most amount of sugar and speed. And the coffee's an art. I used to not believe that until I became a barista myself, but It's a science and a craft that requires a lot of patience and a lot of dedication. Now, argument number 2 is that local baristas are snotty or rude, and I would just rather not go. And you'd be right. There are some baristas that are just not nice people, but you can divide that into 2 reasons. One is that they have to deal with customers who give them death stares, snarky remarks, and treated like a child when their order isn't quite right to the customer's standard. Or 2, that barista genuinely thinks they know everything about coffee and that they are the king or queen behind the bar. But then it just becomes an issue of morals with that person. And in conclusion, this country, it realistically survives on small business. When small businesses are doing well, our economy is doing well. They are the engines of our nation. Small businesses value you as a person. They will care more for your needs than any corporation out there. Small places will even customize themselves for your needs. And small business owners will even host fundraising events or help locals. For instance, my coffee shop helped a young lady film a short documentary about us so that she could expand her portfolio. We let her behind the bar and give her a close-up of how we make drinks. And honestly, I don't think a lot of big name chains will let you do that. And finally, when you spend your money locally, it stays local. It doesn't go to some foreign nation that you know nothing about. So here's what you can do. Start replacing the times when you usually go to large-scale chains with going to smaller, more local shops. Now, I encourage you to shop more at the mom and pop shops downtown or in the city because it benefits you, everyone else in the community. Thanks, guys.